معرفة.
This has become a very prominent issue, and this ties in with my earlier discussion on asset-based and asset-backed. When a default happened on Sukuk, and a number have happened in the market, we know of Investment Dar, we know of Dana Gas, name a few, East Cameron was the other one as well. The issue arose whether the Sukuk holders in an event of default had recourse to those assets or not. The question always was, is it asset-based or asset-backed? At that time, during the default, most of the investors thought they had recourse to the underlying asset, which was wrong. And I think the prospectuses were very clear. The transaction was very clear that you had no recourse to those assets. But investors still, at that moment in time, believed that they had recourse to those assets. Now, bearing in mind whether it is asset-based or asset-backed, the structuring and the default obviously are influenced whether it is asset-based or asset-backed. If it is asset-based, you are an unsecured creditor in line with all other unsecured creditors. What does that mean? That means that you have to sit around a table with the defaulting party and come up with a solution. Do you want to extend maturity? Are you going to extend the tenor? Are you going to be able to pay me in 3 years' time rather than next year? There are commercial realities that take place. In an asset-backed, you don't, because you straight away take recourse to that underlying asset and you sell it to recover what is due to you. Now, because Islamic finance is relatively new in the current economic climate, the conventional financing has gone through a cycle of peaks and troughs, boom and bust, and they have learned from these mistakes of previous. Islamic finance in its current form has been around for 40-50 years. This is the first downturn, I believe, that Islamic finance has faced, and we have learned a lot from it. The important thing is that we apply what we have learned from it. We apply the fact that the asset-based, asset-backed discussion has to be thought out properly. We have to understand that now in the jurisdictions we operate in the Middle East, we need proper, succinct and comprehensive bankruptcy and insolvency laws so that Sukuk holders are protected. These are the lessons I believe we need to take away as a result of the recent downturn that Islamic finance has, the global economy has faced. That is the first that the Islamic finance industry has gone through. The conventional financing system has been around for over 400 years. It has gone through a number of adjustments as a result of booms and busts in the economy and have learned from it. We have been around for 50 years. This is the first downturn that Islamic finance has really faced. I believe the test is whether we learn from these mistakes and correct it so that we create a genuine alternative source of financing that is true to the spirit of Islamic finance.
معرفة.